Okay guys, today onwards we'll start 8th class. So today we'll do the third chapter. Third chapter is coal and petroleum. Okay, so let's deal with this. Firstly, we'll discuss about a natural substances and man-made substances, right? So if you look at closely, natural substances were, I think water is a natural substance, yes or no? So man is not created water, right? In the before, man hasn't created water, but right now the man is going to create the water in the laboratory also. Okay, no need to worry about it. And coming to the next case, soil. Anything else? Sunlight, etc., etc. Stones, etc., etc. These were all the substances that are natural now, right? If you look into the man-made substances, like, okay, so those were around you, right? If you look into it, shirts, benches, blackboard, okay, everything around here is a man-made substances. Yes, wonderful. So you guys could easily categorize these two. I think so. Yes. So natural substances can be categorized easily, and man-made substances also categorized easily. Wonderful. But if you look into these natural substances, okay, so we are dealing with this natural substances now. So coming to the natural substances, we have two types. Okay, we need to estimate those things into two types now. So firstly, if you look into sunlight, on the other hand, we'll look forward and look into this. It is water. Okay, and some other cases, scarcity, coal, petroleum. Okay, if you look into these two cases, okay, we'll remove water right now because we have plenty of water, but not drinking water. Okay, so coal and petroleum. If you look into these two cases, now what happens is sunlight and coal and petroleum. For sunlight, I simply write it as a inexhaustible natural resources, and coal and petroleum were exhaustible natural resources. Okay, then you need to know something, that is, what is an inexhaustible natural resources and what is exhaustible natural resources. So exhaustible, which means very simple. Okay, these substances were, if you consider these substances, coal and petroleum, so these substances were limited, which means they are in limited quantity. So what happens is, after a plenty uses of these things, might get decreased its quantity, right? Yes or no? So these are limited. Okay, then what happens? You need to understand one more thing, that is, exhaustible substances were limited in quantity, and also if you consider the price of those substances, what happens to the price? The price might get decreases. Yes, in the previous okay, if you go to the past, what happens is exhaustible resources like coal and petroleum, coal is going to be present in all the homes in previous days, but right now coal is not available at the local stores also. Why this happen? Because there is a decrease in the quantity of the coal, right? And on the other hand, if you consider the petroleum also, in the beginning 10 or 20 years back, the petrol price might be below 25 rupees, but right now the price of the petrol might get increased too. Now it is sharply I think roughly 110 rupees, right? Roughly 110 rupees on an average, but there is an increase in its price, right? Why this happened? This happened because what happens is you are using this again and again and again. Then what happens is this limited quantity becomes much limited, very much limited. So if there is less in number, the demand gets increases, right? So if there is a demand, the price get increases. Yes. Due to this, the prices becomes high. Okay, so coming to the exhaustible substances, the substances which are very limited in quantity, right? And those substances could be coal and petroleum, right? So coming back to the next case, if you consider one more thing, that is inexhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources. Okay, if you consider this case, so these were not in limited quantity, so they are infinitely present here, right? Yes or no? Because if you consider sunlight, none, sunlight is available for us for free of cost. Yes or no? Yes, that's why, because no one is charging us for using the sunlight. That's because the sunlight is infinitely present overall. Yes. So coming to the next case, if you consider water, in olden days water is available at all the wells and everywhere, right? Right now also it is available, but no one is drinking the well water. But why? Because the water gets polluted, and also if you drink that water, what happens? You might get little bit amount of diseases also. Yes or no? So that is the reason the water, it is also becoming little bit scarcity, right? But if you consider sea water now, sea water is available much more. It is infinitely available. So I haven't mentioned sea water here, but I would like to mention water also here. Okay, that too drinking water. Just include drinking water in the exhaustible resources, because in on an average, for suppose if you consider overall earth, the land percentage is 71%. So 29% is 71% is water and 29% is land. But overall this 71%, only 1% water is nothing but the drinking water, right? So overall this 1%, what happens is the amount of water that is present, it is going to become decreasing, right? So right now we are also buying the drinking water for 20 rupees for a tin. Yes or no? 20 liters. Okay, so we are using this drinking water by purchasing it. Yes or no? Yes. In cities also what happens is these drinking water pipeline gets attached to their houses and they need to pay the bills monthly, right? In urban areas and rural areas, what happens is we need to buy a tins. None, that tin contains 20 liters, it becomes 20 rupees, which means 1 liter becomes 1 rupee. And also we are drinking water in a Kinley water bottle. Okay, it is also 20 rupees for 1 liter. Okay, so you are purchasing the water. Okay, the purchasing of water gets started. For suppose if you goes on waste this water, goes on, what happens is as the time passes, after 10 or 20 years now, okay, the water price also might get comes to 110 or 150 rupees also. Okay, that's because you are wasting the water that is present here. But I think there might be some other steps might get implemented to increase to convert this sea water into drinking water. Maybe that experiments might get utilized for us. Okay, I think good thing might happens to us. Okay, but if you consider this case, exhaustible and inexhaustible resources, exhaustible resources were the substances that are present in limited quantity, right? But if you consider inexhaustible resources, they were present in infinitely present. Okay, so inexhaustible, the quantity might get decreases, but inexhaustible, it is not going to be decreased right now. Okay, so that's it about this exhaustible and inexhaustible resources. In the next class, we'll deal with coal. Okay, thank you.